Well, Rahul Gandhi will now be addressing a press conference. Let's immediately cut to that.
साथियों शुरू करें। राहुल जी आपको संबोधित करेंगे, उसके बाद में 3-4 सवाल लेंगे। आधे घंटे या 35 मिनट का समय है हमारे पास, तो मैं राहुल जी से गुजारिश करूंगा कि आप शुरुआत।
धन्यवाद जयराम जी। कल प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पार्लियामेंट में 2 घंटे 13 मिनट भाषण किया। उसमें अंत में 2 मिनट उन्होंने मणिपुर की बात की। मणिपुर में महीनों से आग लगी हुई है, लोग मारे जा रहे हैं, बलात्कार हो रहा है, बच्चों को मारा जा रहा है। और अगर आपने देखा होगा कल, तो प्रधानमंत्री हंस हंस के बोल रहे थे, मुस्कुरा रहे थे, जोक्स क्रैक कर रहे थे, हंस रहे थे। ये उनको शोभा नहीं देता है। हिंदुस्तान का प्रधानमंत्री, अगर इस देश में हिंसा हो रही है, दर्द हो रहा है, हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री को 2 घंटे मजाक नहीं उड़ाना चाहिए। विषय कांग्रेस नहीं था, विषय मैं नहीं था, विषय मणिपुर है। मणिपुर में क्या हो रहा है और उसको एकदम क्यों नहीं रोका जा रहा है, ये विषय है। मैं आपको अपना एक्सपीरियंस देता हूं, जो मैंने शायद अभी तक बोला नहीं, शायद पहले बोल देना था। मैं अब तकरीबन 19 साल से राजनीति में हूं और मैं हर स्टेट में गया हूं। बाढ़ आए, तूफान आए, सुनामी आई थी, हिंसा होती है, हम जाते हैं। 19 साल के एक्सपीरियंस में जो मैंने मणिपुर में देखा और सुना, वो मैंने कभी पहले नहीं सुना था। मैंने पार्लियामेंट में बोला कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, अमित शाह जी ने भारत माता की हत्या की है। मणिपुर में भारत को खत्म कर दिया है। मैंने ऐसे नहीं बोला था, ये खोखले शब्द नहीं है। मैं आपको समझाता हूं मैंने ये बात बोली क्यों। जब हम मणिपुर पहुंचे, हम लैंड किए, हमें मणिपुर में दौरा करना था। जब हम मेटे एरिया में गए, हमें साफ कहा गया था कि अगर आपकी सिक्योरिटी डिटेल में कोई भी कुकी होगा, उसको आप यहां मत लाइए, क्योंकि हम उसको मार देंगे। और जब हम कुकी के एरिया में गए, हमें कहा गया अगर कोई मेटे आपकी सिक्योरिटी डिटेल में होगा, उसको आप मत लाइए, उसको हम गोली मार देंगे। हम जब गए, हमें मेटेज को परे करना पड़ा, हमें कुकीज को परे करना पड़ा। मतलब एक स्टेट नहीं है, आज 2 स्टेट है। स्टेट की हत्या कर दी गई है और उसको चीर दिया गया है। इसलिए मैंने बोला हिंदुस्तान की हत्या मणिपुर में बीजेपी ने कर दी है। और जब मैंने कल प्रधानमंत्री को देखा हंसते हुए, मजाक उड़ाते हुए, मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा था कि हिंदुस्तान का प्रधानमंत्री इस प्रकार से कैसे बोल सकता है। प्रधानमंत्री को यह पता नहीं लग रहा है कि हमारे देश में क्या हो रहा है। छोड़िए, नहीं जाना चाहते हैं, उसके भी कारण हैं, शायद मैं बता नहीं सकता हूं आपको, उसके कारण हैं। मगर अगर जा नहीं सकते हैं तो मणिपुर के बारे में बोले तो। हिंदुस्तान की आर्मी, आप सब जानते हो, सेना को आप जानते हो, जो मणिपुर में हो रहा है, हिंदुस्तान की सेना उसको 2 दिन में रोक सकती है, 3 दिन नहीं लगेंगे। अगर हिंदुस्तान की आर्मी को कहा गया कि यह तमाशा बंद करो, 2 दिन में यह तमाशा ड्रामा बंद हो जाएगा। प्रधानमंत्री मणिपुर को जलाना चाहते हैं, आग बुझाना नहीं चाहते हैं। यह है सच्चाई। अब आप अपने सवाल पूछिए। वुड यू लाइक मी टू से इट इन इंग्लिश? हाँ। I watched the Prime Minister of India yesterday speaking for 2 hours, laughing, joking, lagaving naras in the parliament. The Prime Minister would say one line and the entire BJP would shout another nara. You know, the Prime Minister seems to have forgotten that the state of Manipur is on fire and has been on fire for 4 months. Women and children are dying over there. People are being murdered. Women are being molested, are being raped. And the Prime Minister of India is sitting in the middle of the parliament, shamelessly laughing. This is not about Rahul Gandhi. This is not about the Congress party. This is not about the opposition. This is about India. It's about our country. A state has been decimated. It has been destroyed. It does not exist anymore. And it has happened because of the politics of the BJP. Divide and rule and burn. That is why in my speech I said, Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur. It's very interesting. For the first time, the words Bharat Mata have been expunged from the parliament. It's an insult to those words. Whatever I said that is wrong. I have said Bharat Mata, which is an idea, which is the idea of India, where everybody lives peacefully, harmoniously, with affection, has been killed in Manipur. It's a fact. So, the word itself now cannot be spoken by the people of India. We cannot say Bharat Mata in parliament. I want to tell you about my own personal experience of Manipur. I've spoken to you about, I spoke in parliament about the women I met, the pain I heard, but I want to tell you why I said India has been murdered in Manipur. And I said it because Manipur no longer exists as a state. A state requires control, a state requires authority. That is disappeared in Manipur. It does not exist. And I saw this with my own eyes. When we went to Manipur, when we went to the Meitei area, we were categorically told that please ensure, we want you to come, we love you, but please ensure that if there are any cookies in your security detail, they do not come into our area or we will shoot them. When I went into the cookie area, we were told the same thing. We love you, we want you to come. But please make sure, if there are any Meiteis in your security detail, we will shoot them. Do not bring them here. Before going to the Meitei area, we had to remove all cookies from our security detail. Before going to the cookie area, we had to remove all Meiteis from our security detail. When we went there, the security forces, central security forces, told us we have never seen anything like this. We were told it is completely outside our control. Okay? That is why I said Manipur has been murdered by the BJP, and the idea of India has been murdered by the BJP in Manipur. I was not speaking metaphorically. I was speaking literally. Now, the Indian army, it will take the Indian army 2 days to put an end to the nonsense that is going on in Manipur. The Prime Minister refuses to stop the fire. He wants Manipur to burn. He allows Manipur to burn. Because if he did want it to stop, there are tools in the hands of the Indian government that can stop it immediately. I know. I have full faith in our army. I know. And every Indian citizen knows that if the Indian army is told, please put an end to this, it will stop immediately. There are reasons for the PM not being able to go to Manipur. I'm aware of those reasons. I don't want to say them publicly. But there are clear reasons as to why the Prime Minister is not going there. That is why we wanted the Prime Minister to speak in Parliament. That is why we wanted Manipur to be on the agenda in Parliament. And what did the Prime Minister do? He ridiculed the state. He ridiculed the women of the state. He laughed at the women of the state. That's the truth. Now please ask your questions.
संजीव माइक देना यार.
Finally, I just want to say one thing again in English. See, the Prime Minister, when he becomes Prime Minister, he ceases to be a politician. He becomes the representative of the voice of this country. The politics should be put aside, and the Prime Minister should speak not as a petty politician, as the leader of a political party, but the Prime Minister should speak with the weight of the Indian people behind him. And it's tragic to watch Mr. Narendra Modi. It's sad, because the Prime Minister does not understand what he actually is. He is our representative. He's my representative. He's all our representative. And watching the Prime Minister spend 2 hours talking about the Congress, talking about the opposition, making ridiculous remarks about the name, this really does not do justice to an Indian Prime Minister. I've seen Prime Ministers from the Congress party, I've seen Prime Ministers from the BJP, I've seen Mr. Vajpayee, I've seen Mr. Dev Gowda. None of them have ever done this. There's a complete misunderstanding in the mind of Narendra Modi ji about what the Prime Minister of India is.
Rahul ji, you wanted the Prime Minister to speak in Parliament, and now that he's spoken, and you've said that he wants Manipur to continue to burn. So what is the Congress Party's next step to retrieve Manipur and save it?
The only conclusion I can draw, because the Prime Minister has tools in his hand that can stamp out the fire in Manipur certainly within 3 or 4 days. But for some reason he's refusing to use those tools. Right? The Prime Minister could at least go to Manipur, talk to the communities and say, I'm your Prime Minister. Let's start talking. It will be taken seriously. So I don't see any intention.
राहुल जी कल ये भी प्रधानमंत्री ने अपने भाषण में कहा कि 2018 में ये लेके आए थे, 2023 में विश्वास प्रस्ताव लेके आए और 2023 में भी लाएंगे. तो एक तरीके से उन्होंने साफ तौर पर ये कह दिया कि मैं तो हमारी सरकार अगली बार भी बन रही है. एक पॉलिटिकल बात भी उन्होंने कही. तो आप उनके पूरे भाषण को आप ये कह रहे हैं कि पॉलिटिकल भाषण ज्यादा था, मणिपुर पे बात बहुत कम थी. तो इसको कैसे देखते हैं?
नहीं, भाषण हिंदुस्तान के बारे में नहीं था, भाषण नरेंद्र मोदी जी के बारे में था. वो अपनी राय, अपनी राजनीति, अपने एम्बिशंस वो आपको दे रहे थे. सवाल ये नहीं है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी 24 में प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे या नहीं. सवाल ये है कि मणिपुर जल रहा है, महिलाओं का बलात्कार हो रहा है, लोग मारे जा रहे हैं. सवाल ये है, अगर ये प्रधानमंत्री कहना चाहते हैं तो ये पब्लिक मीटिंग में कहें. मजाक बनाना चाहते हैं तो जब मणिपुर नहीं चल रहा है तो करें. बट प्रधानमंत्री को ये समझ आनी चाहिए, बात समझ आनी चाहिए कि पार्लियामेंट में जो चर्चा हो रही थी वो उनके बारे में नहीं थी, वो मणिपुर के बारे में थी.
सर नमस्कार. कल प्रधानमंत्री ने बार बार कांग्रेस का नाम लिया और ये आरोप लगाया कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट और मणिपुर की सारी समस्याओं के लिए कांग्रेस जिम्मेदार है. आप क्या जवाब देंगे?
नहीं, अभी मैंने बोला ना, वही तो जवाब है. मुझे प्रधानमंत्री को जवाब देने की जरूरत नहीं है. मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूं कि एक स्टेट की हत्या की गई है, भारत माता की हत्या कर दी गई है मणिपुर में. भारत माता की हत्या मणिपुर में कर दी गई और प्रधानमंत्री लोकसभा में मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, हंस रहे हैं, नारे लगवा रहे हैं. मुझे क्या जवाब देने की जरूरत है?
हाँ मौसमी,
राहुल विलास
एक मिनट मोहित, ऑर्डर से प्लीज।
Mr. Gandhi, you waxed eloquent.
राहुल, आपने बोला कि प्रधानमंत्री ने बोला सदन में कि गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने विस्तार से जवाब दे दिया। अमित शाह साहब ये कहते हैं कि मणिपुर के सीएम को हटाने की जरूरत इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि उन्होंने हमारी पूरी बात सुनी और वो कभी भी कोई हमने डीजीपी चेंज किया, डीजीपी चेंज कर दिया, उन्होंने जो भी प्रशासनिक व्यवस्था हम चेंज करना चाहते थे, इसलिए मणिपुर सीएम को हटाने
मणिपुर सीएम, जब मैं मणिपुर गया, मणिपुर सीएम ने जो मणिपुर में हजारों वेपन्स जो लूटे गए, वो मणिपुर सीएम के नीचे ही हुआ। तो क्या अमित शाह चाहते थे कि ये हजारों वेपन्स लूटे जाएं?
हाँ संजय।
राहुल जी,
जो हिंसा चल रही है, क्या अमित शाह चाहते हैं कि हिंसा चलती जाए? चीफ मिनिस्टर उसको रोक नहीं पा रहा है। अमित शाह जी कह रहे हैं कि भैया वो हमारी बात मान रहा है, तो क्या आप चाहते हैं कि मणिपुर चलता जाए?
राहुल जी, एक संसद में एक नया ट्रेंड दिखाई दे रहा है कि कई सेशन से अपोजिशन के एमपीज या तो सस्पेंड हो रहे हैं या डिस्क्वालीफाई हो रहे हैं, या एक सेशन से ज्यादा ये अपोजिशन के एमपीज का जो प्रिविलेज मोशन या प्रिविलेज रूल्स के तहत जो डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन हो रहा है या सस्पेंशन हो रहा है, इसका जो ट्रेंड बढ़ रहा है, इसको आप लोग कैसे एड्रेस करेंगे? आप
देखिए, एमपीज को निकालें, वापस डालें, हमारा काम बदलता नहीं है। हमारा लक्ष्य जो मणिपुर में हो रहा है उसको रुकवाने का है। जो भी औजार हमारे हाथों में है, उस हिंसा को रुकवाने के लिए उनका हम प्रयोग कर रहे हैं और करेंगे।
Yeah, Mr. Gandhi, you talked about using the army, deploying the army to control violence. You spoke that in Parliament. You've repeated here. But the BJP has criticized you and even previous Congress governments, saying that we want to solve the issue through dialogue. And they've criticized that in the 60s, in 64, the Mizo National Famine Front was bombed by the Indian Army, by the Indian Air Force. So they said that, you know, they do not believe
I have never heard in my entire career, I have never been told anywhere I have been in India that if you take this person as a security officer with you, we will put a bullet in his head. I have never heard it. And I heard it twice in Manipur. That means there is no dialogue in Manipur. There is pure violence taking place in Manipur. The first step is to stop the violence, put an end to it. I point out the army, but what I mean is that the Prime Minister has multiple instruments in his hands. He's not using them. It's been burning for 4 months. He's doing nothing and he's laughing. I'm amazed people can't see this, that he's sitting in Parliament and laughing.
जयराम जी,
Last question.
जयराम जी, मोहित दुबे हूँ न्यूज नेशन से। आपने 37 मिनट का भाषण।
जयराम जी,
राहुल जी
नहीं, मतलब आप मुझसे जयराम कर रहे हैं या उनसे?
राहुल जी, आप
जय सिया राम।
राहुल जी, आपने 37 मिनट का भाषण लोकसभा के भीतर दिया और 37 मिनट में सिर्फ आपको करीब 14 मिनट ही दिखाया गया, बाकी आपके चेहरे पे कैमरा नहीं था और आप मणिपुर गए, मैक्सिमम टाइम आपने मणिपुर के ऊपर बोला। इस परंपरा को आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
पता नहीं, शायद कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है। शायद पीएम मेरा चेहरा टीवी पे नहीं देखना चाहते, मगर फिर पीएम मेरी वीडियो के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो पता नहीं क्या है। बट मुझे लगता है शायद उनको मेरा चेहरा टीवी पे देखना अच्छा नहीं लगता। कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। जो मैंने बोलना था, देखिए, मुझे अपना काम करना है। मैं जानता हूं कि मीडिया पे कंट्रोल है, लोकसभा, राज्यसभा, टीवी पर कंट्रोल है, वो उसके बारे में मैं कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं कर सकता हूं। मगर मुझे अपना काम करना है, मैं अपने काम को करता हूं। जहां भी भारत माता पर आक्रमण होगा वहां मैं आपको खड़ा मिलूंगा, भारत माता की रक्षा करते हुए मिलूंगा। हाँ, okay, last question, brother.
The Supreme Court has already said what it has in terms of a constitutional breakdown, as well as now, you are asking for the army. Do you believe that Article 356 is the only way out?
I'm not asking for anything. Please don't misunderstand. It is not my place to decide which tool the Prime Minister can use, which instrument he should use. I am pointing out that there are multiple instruments that the Prime Minister has at his disposal, and he is not using a single one. I'm pointing out that Manipur has been burning now for 4 months, and the Prime Minister is in a very good mood. He's sitting in Parliament, he's laughing, he's joking, his entire cabinet is in giggles. This to me seems completely insane. This has got
the debate that was being answered to by the Prime Minister, the confidence vote when he spoke about several other issues, including Manipur. Rahul Gandhi, among several other opposition MPs, had exited. After that, they came out to allege that the Prime Minister hadn't spoken about Manipur 90 minutes into his speech. And now Rahul Gandhi, who has been under fire for his earlier speech where he had said that Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur, remarks that were expunged from the parliamentary records but were later repeated by him outside the very same day. Today he reiterated that. He said he wasn't talking in metaphors. He saw what he said about, what he spoke about. Niyamika is now joining me. Niyamika, the line of attack from the Congress party is clear. They are not going to budge. We'll try and get that line back with Niyamika. In the meantime, let's once again listen in to what Rahul Gandhi has said in his first media conference that is being addressed by him after the no confidence vote. Remember, yesterday also he did, while leaving the parliament, say that it is unfortunate that words like Bharat Mata are being expunged. But now this was the first formal press conference.
In my speech, I said, Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur. It's very interesting. For the first time, the words Bharat Mata have been expunged from the parliament. It's an insult to those words. Whatever I said that is wrong. I have said Bharat Mata, which is an idea, which is the idea of India, where everybody lives peacefully, harmoniously, with affection, has been killed in Manipur. It's a fact. So, the word itself now cannot be spoken by the people of India. We cannot say Bharat Mata in Parliament. I watched the Prime Minister of India yesterday speaking for 2 hours, laughing, joking, लगाing naras in the Parliament. The Prime Minister would say one line and the entire BJP would shout another nara. The Prime Minister seems to have forgotten that the state of Manipur is on fire and has been on fire for 4 months. Women and children are dying over there. People are being murdered. Women are being molested, are being raped. And the Prime Minister of India is sitting in the middle of the parliament, shamelessly laughing. This is not about Rahul Gandhi. This is not about the Congress party. This is not about the opposition. This is about India. It's about our country.
Niyamika now joins us for more on this. Niyamika, clearly the Congress is not going to end its opposition towards the centre when it comes to Manipur with the monsoon session. The attack continues.
Absolutely, as this was a scathing attack which has come on the part of the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, as he has just now addressed a press conference at the AICC headquarters, and in that press conference he has mentioned that the entire issue of moving a no confidence motion in Lok Sabha that the Prime Minister should speak on the Manipur violence which has been continuing in the state for past so many days. But on the other hand, during the speech of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he had targeted the Congress party, the opposition in Lok Sabha, and for that matter he had also made an attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi by saying that this is a very serious problem currently going on in the state of Manipur, as the violence is being continuing, women are getting raped, people are dying. On the other hand, Prime Minister...
Right, the BJP will now obviously ask the question that they asked yesterday, that if you had to raise these questions, what was the point in running away when the Prime Minister was speaking on Manipur? Yesterday itself, these questions could have been asked, could have been raised when the Prime Minister was present on the floor of the House. That is when they decided to leave. But today, coming out and defending his remarks on multiple fronts, Rahul Gandhi said that I did not speak in metaphors. I reiterated what I saw with my own eyes. He also repeated his earlier charge made on the floor of the House that the centre is intentionally letting the fires burn in Manipur. They have instruments at hand that they can use to control the situation, but they are not doing this deliberately. Let's once again listen in to what Congress MP said.
In my speech, I said, Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur. It's very interesting. For the first time, the words Bharat Mata have been expunged from the parliament. It's an insult to those words. Whatever I said that is wrong. I have said Bharat Mata, which is an idea, which is the idea of India, where everybody lives peacefully, harmoniously, with affection, has been killed in Manipur. It's a fact. So, the word itself now cannot be spoken by the people of India. We cannot say Bharat Mata in Parliament. I watched the Prime Minister of India yesterday speaking for 2 hours, laughing, joking, लगाएंगे naras in the Parliament. The Prime Minister would say one line and the entire BJP would shout another nara. You know, the Prime Minister seems to have forgotten that the state of Manipur is on fire and has been on fire for 4 months. Women and children are dying over there. People are being murdered. Women are being molested, are being raped. And the Prime Minister of India is sitting in the middle of the Parliament shamelessly, laughing. This is not about Rahul Gandhi. This is not about the Congress party. This is not about the opposition. This is about India. It's about our country. नहीं, भाषण हिंदुस्तान के बारे में नहीं था, भाषण नरेंद्र मोदी जी के बारे में था। वो अपनी राय, अपनी राजनीति, अपने एम्बिशंस वो आपको दे रहे थे। सवाल ये नहीं है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी 24 में प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे या नहीं। सवाल ये है कि मणिपुर जल रहा है, महिलाओं का बलात्कार हो रहा है, लोग मारे जा रहे हैं। सवाल ये है, कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है। शायद पीएम मेरा चेहरा टीवी पे नहीं देखना चाहते, मगर फिर पीएम मेरी वीडियो के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो पता नहीं क्या है, बट मुझे लगता है शायद उनको मेरा चेहरा टीवी पे देखना अच्छा नहीं लगता। कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। जो मैंने बोलना था, देखिए मुझे अपना काम करना है। मैं जानता हूं कि मीडिया पे कंट्रोल है, लोकसभा राज्यसभा टीवी पर कंट्रोल है, वो उसके बारे में मैं कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं कर सकता हूं, मगर मुझे अपना काम करना है। मैं अपने काम को करता हूं। जहां भी भारत माता पर आक्रमण होगा वहां मैं आपको खड़ा मिलूंगा, भारत माता की रक्षा करते हुए मिलूंगा।